That is Voxtrot from their new album, Dreamers in Exile. It's just the band's second album and the first since they broke up over a decade ago. The Texas-based outfit formed in 2003 and then reformed in 2022. We spoke to vocalist guitarist Ramesh Srivastava and asked him what the band did on the day when the long-awaited second album finally arrived.
We played an in-store there's a record store in Austin called Waterloo Records.
Oh yeah,
which is, yeah, I'm sure it's kind of the sort of long-standing stalwart independent record store of Austin. So we played a record release show, sort of a stripped-down version of it there, which not the whole record, but like a 5-song set, which was awesome. It was really, it's cool. Like I went to that store all the time when I was really young, and now that I don't live in Austin, I don't go as much. So it was nice to be reunited.
Did you buy a couple of records while you were there?
No, I really should have done that, but I had a very full schedule. I played, and then I did a little podcast interview afterward and signed some records and stuff.
Okay. Yep. So you enjoyed the fan interaction of that kind? Because I don't know, since this is only your second album in like 20 years, you don't get a lot of it to do.
Yeah, it's interesting having it again because it's been a long time. So we had it, on the reunion tour was really good turnout, and
right.
I interacted with lots of people. But yeah, it's definitely a thing I haven't thought about in a long time.
And when you do interact with people, I'm curious, do you enjoy talking about the specific songs and the lyrics and the music, or are you just kind of interested in seeing what kind of people come out to see you?
I am interested in talking about that for sure. I would say that usually doesn't come up in a situation like that, like a record store signing. Right. It comes up sometimes. People send me messages on Instagram or something, which it's kind of like, that is nice. It's always nice to know that people are invested enough to be curious, but right. It's a little bit like, it's a matter of how open you really want that door to be. It's like, gotcha. In a way, you would like to answer everybody that asks a question like that, but there's too many, and it's, social media is tricky. It's like, to what degree do you want people to have access to you,
Right. Yep. You got to manage it, definitely. All right. So for folks who may not be as familiar as they need to be with Voxtrot, you guys formed in like 2003, broke up after making one album, reformed in 2022, and now here's your second album.
That's right. Yeah.
Nutshell. So was that always the plan? Was there a plan? Why do you have this trajectory that is kind of unique, let's say?
Well, that was definitely not the plan. I think that's safe to say. The plan was that, once we had a plan, which was to be a full-time career band, right. pretty soon after that, we were signed for that first album. I think worth noting is that we have an album's worth of material that comes before that. That is, right. Some of those songs are still the best known or the most loved. So it kind of felt like our debut album felt more like our second album, but it was the first official debut album on a big record label. And yeah, we thought that the plan was for that to be it for like many years and many albums. And then
right.
That first one did not do as well commercially. And and some, we got some great reviews on it actually, but in a lot of ways, not as well critically as we'd hoped. So that ended up kind of catalyzing the breakup just a few years after that. So the plan changed.
So now, the record business is very different now than it was when you started out. Mm-hmm. Does that have anything to do with why you reformed or your expectations of what's going to happen this time around?
That doesn't. No, for me, that definitely doesn't have to do with why we reformed. I would say, like, at this point, I really don't think about it like how to mastermind the industry the way that it is now or the way that it is at any given point. Right. My experience is that is that it's really like, if you focus on, and I'm going to use the word product, which sounds soulless, but it kind of helps me to be more objective about it and take it out of its sort of ego relation to me. But I think if you focus on making a great product, or a great album with like songs that are genuine and from the heart and that people really connect with, I think that all of the external pieces tend to, things fall. I know my manager would probably be like, they don't just fall together, but things fall together naturally. I think trying to mastermind, like when I'm watching, I don't know, when I'm being serviced like TikTok reels or something about how to mastermind the mechanism and gain followers and gain streams and all this stuff, to me, that's just not how it works. Like, I think it works from the inside out.
Gotcha. Yeah. So how did the Reformation begin? Was there something that sparked things to happen? Was it kind of natural? Was there an event that spurred things on?
The Reformation had almost happened, or the Reformation had been proposed many times over the years, and would kind of come up in our sort of band email threads that we still maintained. And I just never felt like it was the right time. I felt like, because I was releasing solo stuff, that I couldn't do both at the same time without one sabotaging the other. So I was always like not into it. And then I don't know, like, I guess maybe because of COVID and having a lot of time to be alone and to go down memory lane, and I don't know, I just became aware of how much seeing like young people that were not around the first time that we were a band, like all these new people into Voxtrot, and I just eventually thought it seems crazy not to revisit this.
Yep. And in your opinion, is it the same band as it was 20 years ago? I mean, it's the same people, but that's...
Well, it's the same people, but actually the same 5 people play on most of the songs on this record. There are actually a few that are not all 5 of us. There are the 2 of the members don't live in Texas. There are 3 of us that live here in Lockhart. We all live, kind of within a mile of each other. The other 2 live out of state. So they played on most of it, but actually over the 3 years that it took from beginning to end for this record, their involvement they're not permanent members of the band anymore.
Gotcha.
It's tough to say because we kind of approach it on a tour by tour basis, but at least this tour, we have 2 other people, one of which has played with us a lot over the years, that will be touring with us.
All right. So the album itself is compiled of a bunch of singles that have kind of trickled out over the last couple of years, along with stuff that people haven't heard before. Was that an issue with trying to make it a cohesive album when it was kind of made of those parts?
No, because I had pretty much, like, I had a bunch of demos that we were selecting from, and I did kind of add to it throughout, but in my mind, the sort of 10 songs that would be the album, I guess there's 11 actually, because the CD digital is different than the vinyl, but it's like I probably started with, I don't know, 16 songs or something, and I knew from that batch that it would be whittled down to the album. It was more that we were putting out singles just, to be active again. Also, there is a eternal quandary or conundrum or something for artists now, where it's like, do I release music, see if it catches fire or produces energy, and then if that causes, let's say, a record deal to come or something, like, basically, do I release little bits and get someone else to invest in me, or do I just do the whole thing myself? So,
gotcha.
Part of releasing singles is like, you don't want to give it all away. What if somebody does want to sign you? Then they won't have anything to work with, because it's not like back in the day where you would make a CD EP, which maybe you only sold, however many thousand. It wasn't like everyone had heard it. Whereas now, if it's on streaming, that's it. Like, you only release that once.
Yeah. So one of the new tracks is the title track, "Dreamers in Exile."
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about that? Why is that the title track? What's the background?
I saw those years with hunger in my eyes as we turned to lovers just before the dawn, and I shouted under pink October skies, is there anything left of this place called home? You always say you'll be the last one standing tomorrow when the morning comes. If the music stops and I'm the last one standing, I'll know that the race was run. The race was run.
Well, the background of the song is the song is based on the there's a movie from 1961 called Paris Blues, which is about, well, I think it's based on a James Baldwin novel, I believe. It's set in Paris in the 50s, at a time when there were many jazz musicians living and also like artists and poets in general and stuff living outside the United States, living in Paris or some other European countries. But it's set at that time, and it's just a very like the movie is really fun. It's like I'm really interested in that time and that aesthetic, and I love jazz music, and the movie, like Louis Armstrong has a cameo in it and stuff, but it's really good. I think in the book though, like in the movie, I believe it's Paul Newman and Sidney Poitier, and they are like best friends. I think they play in a band together. And I think in the book, I haven't read the book, I think they meet two American women who are on vacation or something in Paris, and they like, the one who is black dates the white woman and the one who is white dates the black one. But I think they thought it would be, I read this somewhere, they thought it would be too controversial for the audience. So they made it the other way in the movie. But the movie is good. It's just really pleasurable. And I'm just really interested in that time period. And I was kind of making a parallel with my own life where when I was 19, I moved to Scotland, and I lived there for a few years, and I was able to just show up and be in this other place and really be free and be myself. Right. And which for me meant that I could be gay from the second I arrived, because I didn't have to come out because I didn't exist until that day. So it was really easy to bloom in this other place, and I'm sure of course people felt that back then because they were escaping for other reasons, but so that's where the title track comes from. And it's the album. I really like it as the album title. To me, it works on many levels, but I can't take the credit for choosing it as the album title because actually our bassist, Jason, is the one who suggested it.
Okay. Well, kudos to Jason.
Yes.
The other one I wanted to touch on is Rock and Roll Jesus. I'm assuming it's a kind of commentary on celebrity culture, but I defer to your opinions that you wrote the thing.
Yes, that is true.
Don't search my eyes like I'm a modern saint. Rock and roll Jesus, someone to save your life. It ain't celebrity culture in the golden days. Reach for the kill switch. Can't kill what gets me high. We say, take my number, take my picture, take my heart, and leave me alone. In the morning, I'll feel famous. Not page 6, but not unknown.
It is a commentary on celebrity culture. I guess, one thing that certainly changed in the last album. Let's say, Voxtrot stopped being active first in 2010. So something that's certainly changed from 2010 until now. Celebrity culture was always like this, people being deified, but then weirdly people also want to tear them down and see them fall, and sometimes people
we have a term for it in New Zealand. It's called the tall poppy syndrome.
That means where you want to cut it.
So anybody who rises above everyone else, they cut them down.
I see. Yeah. The tall poppy syndrome. I guess it's I mean, like all things, it's double-edged because sometimes people who are famous or powerful do, in fact, abuse their power or take advantage of people. You know, it's like
there's that too.
and so then there's like sometimes it's like, yeah, like it just gets so complicated and so twisted about yeah, like if like yeah, people wanting to see people go down, people abusing their power. There's just so many layers to it. You know, it's a really like complicated modern problem, and I feel like it has become, of course, ultra exemplified or exaggerated by social media in the time since Voxtrot existed. So coming back into like doing interviews and you know, having to engage with social media a lot, it's like even at my minor level of celebrity, I still like I have the fear of always doing the wrong thing, you know? I have the fear of always doing the wrong thing of it's just scary. But you know, I love interacting with people, so sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes I'm just like, God, I wish I didn't have to be this exposed, because it's like, yeah, like all people, like I'm not a perfect person. And there are times when I like have done things that I wish I hadn't done. And if somebody looks up to me, like I do feel like I've let them down, and that's part of the human experience. And it's like this whole crazy multi-layered thing.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are perfect, that's for sure. Yeah. And to know that I'm of a much different vintage than you are, so I can't imagine if I had to live with all the stuff that anything I did when I was, 20 years old online somewhere.
Yeah,
ridiculous. But at the same time, I mean, like with the Epstein files coming out, there are people who have been doing all this stuff and nobody had any idea, and names that are coming out is just incredible. So.
Yeah, that's just yet another level of that. That's just like, that is unreal. Yeah.
Yep. So, all righty. So what's the plan going forward with the band? Is there one?
Of course. Yeah, we have, I mean, now we once again have a plan, but this time we're sticking to it. Now we're really like, we've revitalized our record label. We're like in it for real. So I have a bunch of songs written. We've actually already started working on songs for the next record. So I have like probably at least an album's worth written already, the demos and stuff, but we've started arranging some. And so my hope is that maybe in the summer, when there's a little bit of a lull, or before we go to Europe in September, I hope we get to start like really fleshing it out.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.